Yes, YouTube, we are filming some chest today. So I am 3 weeks out from my first show, 7 weeks out from my second. So I've not filmed in like 3 weeks. I've been slacking. But you know what happens in prep? Where you start really digging low into calories, just the energy's not there. But I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm gonna keep it up now. I feel a bit better now. So we're gonna do some chest today. What I'm gonna do is start with some dumbbells. I really get a good connection when using dumbbells. Normally I do a bit of incline, not flat. So gonna do a bit of inclined dumbbell presses to start with. And throughout this workout, I'm just gonna talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And we might get into food, and I might even do some posing because there's a posing room in this gym. So we're gonna go through it all. I'm not training with anyone today because I just wanna focus on me and not focus on other people at the minute. So we'll do some chest and we'll warm up with some light weights. Whenever I start any workout, especially in the first exercise, I take my time. You know, I've done 20 reps there for the first exercise. Now I will just take my time and I won't even start a working set until I feel I'm ready. So whenever you're starting any kind of workout, the first exercise, take your time. There's no rush, because if you rush, all you're gonna do is you're prone for injury. And then you're gonna pull something, you're gonna damage something in your shoulder when you're doing chest, and it's really gonna set you back. So take your time on the first exercise, start with 20 reps, maybe do another 20 reps with a higher weight, but just feel from that, engage from each warm-up set, how much weight to add into your first working set. So as I'm going up in warm-up sets, I've done 20 reps, 20 reps, 20 reps. By this point, I'm warm. So now is the time where I do my first working. And that kind of gauges for me, because some days I'm weaker than others. We all are. Okay, sometimes you've had less sleep, sometimes you've had more sleep. So what we got to realize is take the feeler, test the sets, build up the weight, gauge from that how strong you're going to be. Okay, because not every week you're going to be as strong as you was the last. But as long as you put maximum effort in each week, then you know you're still going to get the same thing from it. You're tearing fibers, you're repairing the muscle. So strength's important, but we're bodybuilding. We're not powerlifting. I say it a lot, but we're not. Got 15 reps. I would class that as my first working, because normally my rep range is between 8 and 15, okay? Warm-ups 20, first working 15. That felt heavy-ish, considering I'm on super low calories. But I might get him to help me lift them next one. Strength's a bit lower. We're prepping, 3 weeks out. If my strength wasn't low by now, then there's a problem. I'm obviously eating too much. Yeah, it's not easy. I've been dying the last few weeks. But I feel like I'm adjusting to the lower calories now. And that's what happens, your body will always adjust. When there's a drop in calories, you will feel it for that week. Then your body will start to adjust. If you stay on that calories for too long, your body just will adjust and won't be fat burning as much as you'd like. that's when you've got to make more drops. But I'm on such low food at the minute. I won't want to go much lower. And that's where diet breaks. But I'm timing it well for the first show. You know, I'll probably do 2, maybe 3 days carb up, 1 or 2 days after the show, eating a bit more, and then dig again. So that'll be like a 5-day higher calorie. Body will adjust, will speed its metabolism up to deal with the amount of food that you're eating, and then you start digging again. So throughout any diet, it's just about digging, filling, digging, but knowing when to dig and when to fill, not just because you're hungry, because we're all going to be hungry, but doing it for the purpose of fat loss, not just because you're hungry. Right, so now I'm going to do flat bench. I've just done incline, and what I always like to do is start with an incline movement, heavy press, and then go into another heavy but flat. And then once the heavy things are out of the way, I will then go more into the shaping type of movements, the pec decks, the opening up of the fascia, and then maybe an intensifier, because that way you're going to hit all fibers within that muscle. You are going to get the stretch, you're going to open up the chest, stretching the fascia to allow more blood flow. So this is what I always preach whenever I do any chest workouts to clients or even on video. I kind of stress to you that to get the maximum out of your chest sessions, you need to be thinking of the different angles. Strength is important, doing the heavy stuff, the opening of the fascia, like I've just said, and then the intensifier to maximize blood flow, nutrient uptake to the muscle. So we're always thinking of all of the angles, not leaving anything to chance, and just making sure that you're getting the most out of the chest workout. So I'm going to fill this on. This machine's actually quite good because it mimics a normal range of like a fly, dumbbell fly, or a press where the arms come closer. So starting wide, coming in. So you get a lot from it. So we'll start, we'll fill that weight, see how it feels, and get right to it. That's a bit too, oh, let's try that. And making sure, this is another thing, making sure you're in the right position is crucial, because for one, you don't want to risk injury, and two, I'm doing flat, so I don't want my arms too high. I want them to be at a lower point, so it's just activating the chest. This looks a bit better now. Okay. Three. Felt good. Oh, someone's hat. That felt really good. Ugh, that's sweaty. That felt really good, right? And as you can see, conditioning starting to come through. Lines, I don't know if this you can see, but
What's the back?
you can see conditioning starting to come through. So, yeah. Going off topic a little bit there, but yeah, so this is a good chest machine. You could see, you know, it starts wide, comes in, hitting a angle, and doing machine work is safer, let's be honest. I'm always one for doing some free weight, but for me, mostly I like to use machine because, especially in prep, because I don't want to risk hurting myself or dropping the weight, or anything can happen. So there's less risk to injury using machine. All right, here we go. saying before, yeah, so I like to use machines in prep. I feel safer, less risk, and you can't afford to have an injury at this point, especially 3 weeks out. Had an injury now, game over. So still got a lift intense, but smart. Don't be doing nothing stupid. You're not building muscle now, you're trying to keep the muscle. I'm not gonna get bigger, but what I'm gonna do is get harder, keep the fullness, and keep the muscle. So that's the main goal, especially when you get to like 6 weeks out. You might even build muscle up until 8 weeks out, but it's not gonna happen 3 weeks out. So don't try and lift no stupid weight. And this is what I'm doing. I'll talk about what PEDs I'm using and why, because I did say earlier in my video that I was going to talk about it, because I don't generally do, because I don't like to promote, so then people get the wrong idea. Like I say to you, I'm going to do this, or I'm taking that, then you get some 18-year-old thinks, well, I'm going to do what he does. No, but I'm going to talk about it. So at the minute, doing test, which has been lowered to about 500 a week. I'm doing Trembolone, which is quite high, so about 500 a week. And then I'm doing Winstrol now, which is like 40 mil, but will be up to 50. Anavar, 40 going up to 50. Halo, which has gone up to 30 today, because it's like 3 weeks out. That is the time where you want to put Halo in. It's very toxic, so you don't want to be doing it long term. So just leading up to the show. And that, and Mastron, which has now been upped to about 800, 900 a week. So it's pretty high, but it is what it is. It's only the last few weeks. We're trying to maintain muscle. I'm trying to get dry. And what I was just explaining to Lars here is my joints are starting to get dry. And that is what Winstrol does. It starts drying you out, which that's why you shouldn't do it long term anyway, especially if you're trying to lift heavy weight. You can end up risking injury, okay, because your joints are so dry, and then you're trying to lift mad, crazy weight. So be smart with it. That's why I'm going heavy enough, but not trying to break no records or PBing, because I can really feel it in my joints now. But like I say, it's only for a few more weeks, and that's it. So that's the compounds I'm using at the minute. Nothing too crazy, but nothing, it's not mild. It's in the middle, okay? A lot of people seem to think that people who are trying to get their pro card or are pros are doing a shit ton of gear. Most are not, some do, but that's a realistic, what I'm talking about now and what I'm doing is kind of the average of somebody who's trying to get a pro card or a pro, okay? So it's not crazy amounts, but it's enough. Okay, so now pec deck. Okay, so now we're gonna open that fascia, allow more blood flow into the muscle. I've done 2 heavy pressing, so now I'm gonna do this. I always like to do pec deck 3rd or 4th exercise, or a cable. It could be done with cable. You don't have to use a pec deck, but we're a bit limited in this gym for equipment. Some of it's okay, but it's not the same as the normal gym. I'm not used to it. So we're gonna do this now, and let's see how this feels. And don't fall over. To lower the chair a little bit, but that felt good, can see the opening up. I think I need to adjust the seat, but for it to feel 100% perfect, but it's a good machine. Beautiful.
I mean, in the last 3 weeks, it's come along quick.
Yeah. So, I mean, you'll get to that point in prep that, you know, the food has to be reduced dramatically, and that's what I did. You probably saw me 7, 8, 9 weeks out, still holding a bit of fat, but that is when I said, right, I've got to put my foot down now, and the calories needed to be lowered. And it's just finding that sweet spot, because every year that sweet spot is a little bit different than it is the year before, because you're bigger, you're used to more carbs. And I started at 4,800 calories in this diet, got down, then below 3,000, I thought, that's probably when I saw you, I thought, I gotta dig now. But I really dug, and it's starting to come off. My glutes are coming through, my hamstrings are starting to come through. I'll probably be 90% for the first show, and then 100 in 7 weeks. 7 weeks from this point, I'm gonna be shredded. There's no doubt in my mind.
I mean, I was talking to Nick, the head PCA judge, the other week, and he was saying, like, out here in Thailand, especially, like, conditioning is what's going to win shows.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to reach this year, is stop worrying so much about holding the muscle, refeed when I need it, just for energy, and not to dig myself in a hole I can't get out of. And that's what can happen. As we were just saying there, is when people say, oh, you can't lose muscle, just keep digging. Well, yeah, but you're going to lose overall size. You might, and then you can't fill up in time. Like, you'll do 2-3 days of carbs, and you're just not full enough. You know, and as a bodybuilder doing a 2-1-2 or open, yeah, you need the roundness, you need the fullness. And yeah, condition is important, but I don't want to go in there like a string bean. I might be conditioned, but then I ain't got the wow factor. And for me, that's because I've got round muscle bellies. If I'm not bursting full, I don't have that wow factor. And I can be conditioned, but I still won't have that wow on stage, and it makes a big difference. Yeah, mate, it's all right. And so that's my game plan this year, is get conditioned, refeed when needed, keep the size. I'm a bit depleted now. I could really do with probably like 3-4 days of just food, but I'm not gonna do that, because my mini break leading up to the one that matters to me in 7 weeks' time, I will have like a diet break, as in like 2-3 days of carb up, then 2 days after the show. So that's like a 4 or 5 day time where I'm gonna really fill the tank, and I'll probably look a lot better, and I'll probably say, oh, I wish I'd come on stage like this. But then I've got another few more weeks of digging, and I believe that the one that matters, the one I'm gonna beat Aaron on, is that show.
The one that matters.
Yeah, and that's the one that matters, yeah. Because we were just saying, yeah, Aaron was ahead of me. I know if he watches this, he'll go, bah, 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 whatever, right? And he was ahead of me at one point. I was thinking, shit, like, and
he's at the Olympia now, slacking while you're
slacking
as well. So.
And I looked at a video of him yesterday. I was like, he's not as conditioned as me. So
I think Aaron looks good.
He's good, but he doesn't look. He's big and he's good, but he was ahead. But I looked at him. I'm like, I'm catching up, and I'm just gonna pass on the conditioning here. But I'm really digging for it, and I just, I want to be my best this year. I want to make sure that if I bring condition, I don't think, unless somebody just genetically amazing, but even like me and Nick was talking, and he knows bodybuilding, right? He said, if you come in 100%, you're not going to get beat. And I'm like, I believe that too. And at least somebody who's been around and is a judge believes that too. So that kind of gave me a bit more of a confident boost, knowing that somebody else agrees with me that has been around long enough to listen to his opinion, and not just, everyone's got their own opinions, everyone wants a penny's worth. But when somebody is a judge and has been around for as many years as me in the industry, I'll listen to.
I mean,
go on, mate, go on.
When I was having that conversation with him, he said that last show you did where you placed second, you were the much better bodybuilder.
I was bad at it, yeah.
But the conditioning wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't, but yeah.
And this year now.
This year my life is in a better place. That year I had the shop opening, I was living off 4 hours sleep a day. No, go on. 4 hours sleep a day. My mind and my body was not in it. Even when I started the prep, I was like, I can't be arsed. I was still eating pizza, and like I wasn't focused. But this year, I started 18 weeks out. I've been focused. I've not missed one meal the whole prep. I've not missed one cardio session. There's nothing been missed. So like, my mindset's like, I've put everything into it. I can win. and my body is responding in that sense, because when your life is in a good spot, you're making enough money, you're getting enough time into bodybuilding, you ain't got
the stress is lower.
Yeah, the stress is lower, and my body's responding from that. That's really important as well, is the mind, the body, the soul. If it's not in it and it's not focused, your body just won't respond how you want it to, and you won't get what you want. But for this year, I feel like I've never put as much effort into a prep. I've never not missed anything like this prep. I'm not eating shit secretly. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I believe if I do that, I have a good chance of getting it. You know, I'm not lying to myself. I'm not looking in the mirror going, you know, you're a liar, mate. You're saying to everyone you're putting effort in, but you know yourself you're not. And then when you know internally that you've done everything you can, that's all I can do, isn't it? Huh?
Talking about knowing yourself, I mean, Aaron's working with a coach this year.
Yes.
And you're self-coach.
Yes.
Do you think there's pros or cons to that? Like,
yes, there's pros and cons. The pros are, I know my body by now. I've been doing this long enough. So to let somebody tell me something that I know could possibly completely wrong, we would end up not, you know, getting on because of that. I feel like this is my last time I'm going to do it myself. I believe I can do it. I believe I can achieve it by myself. But once I get the pro card, I will then, I've been having a few people in my mind who I want to work with. I will then let somebody work with me, because then I can take away that stress of having to deal with it. But there is a few people in mind.
But you think you can, because that's what you said, you do it for so long, so you know yourself.
Yeah.
After that time, it's hard to give up the control.
It is. But then it's like a new level now. So it's like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to go with this, yeah? I've got Sasan in mind. Sasan's one of the people I have in mind. Only because he's got guys who I've beat before who are now a pro, and he just come third. You know, Luke, I don't know if you know. I've beaten him twice as an amateur. And obviously his progress in the last few years has really come up. I had 3 years off. So like he's caught up and gone, you know, he's a pro now. So I'm like, I've beaten this guy. And another guy who's with in America, and he's with Hunter Labrada, and what's that English guy over there? You know who I'm talking about? Ben, but you know Ben's client. You know he's 212.
I've probably seen him on Instagram, but
I beat him before, and now he's a pro. And I'm like, fuck, like I'm gonna be there soon. But yeah, so I'm going to give the reins to somebody then. There's a few people in my mind. I don't want to go with a too high a level name yet, because like, I tried that and I didn't feel I was getting enough attention. Like I want to work with a coach who believes in me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I don't really want to be in it. I want someone to go, I know you can do it. Like I think you got the shape, you can do it. Like yeah. So we'll see. I've got a few people in mind. I'm not 100% sure yet. But let's see what happens.
I think no matter who you choose as a coach, right, you want to choose somebody that you respect, and somebody who walks the walk, also has a track record. I think that's important.
And the reason why I think it's Sasan, because his approach, I've watched lots of these videos, is very similar to mine. Now that could be a plus or a minus, because that could be a plus as in he works the same as I work, the belief system, the way he trains, the way he eats, very similar to me. I can work with that. Or do I go with a total science guy? Like Joe, you know this, what they're called, the Physique Collective.
Joe Jeffries.
Yeah, like then I'm thinking if I want to go the science-based route, I would go with somebody like them because of they work with, because they've worked with so many people now and they've got a lot of experience and they might be able to teach me something I don't know, and that's all. So I'm swaying between the two. I'm swaying, I don't know.
I think you need somebody who gives you more attention because you work so long alone.
Yeah. And that's why Sasan looks, because he's a pro bodybuilder, amazing shape, like how I liked, you know, the round muscle belly look, keeps the fullness. He had Luca get on stage, he come third in a 212. He looked fucking amazing. Yeah, maybe could have been a bit more conditioned, but he looked amazing, bro. So if I can do that, if I'm beating him before, why am I could be there.
Yeah.
I just need another off season, I think. Another off season, somebody to work with me in an off season, to keep me on track. Even though I know I just need to eat 6,000 to 7,000 calories, I know I can do that without a coach.
I will have the same problem.
Yeah, but if you're paying for it, you're more likely to do it, aren't you? Instead of today I'll just miss a meal or. Okay, so now I'm going to do the pump My brain's got proper diet brain this year. Intensifier, like, excuse my brain. So I'm going to do intensifier. We've done heavy, we've done a stretch movement, now I'm going to do an intensifier. And the reason for this is just to maximize blood flow to the muscle. As we're getting weaker towards the end of the session, you do less weight, but you just do, so I'm going to do a cluster set. So I'm going to do 10 reps, 3 times with a 5 to 10 second break in between, depending on how I feel. So we're going to start with this. And this is a really super high incline machine now. So, oh. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one, come on. Move, move. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh, that was hard. See, it's not even a lot of weight, but that intensifies it, 30 reps really. The brain doesn't recognize the 10-second break. It just knows it's done 30 reps. So that was really good. I might do one more of this weight, but then no more. Because when you think about it, I've just done 30 reps. If I do 2 sets, that's 60 reps. Don't need to do more than that. That's enough. Oh.
Tits.
Put a pen in there and keep it there.
Wait a second, you can see it here in the mirror?
Oh. Oh.
That looks wild.
Oh. This. 8, 9, 10. So, let me explain why I do this. So, as I'm doing chest, and my split is 6 days, so it's like 3 day on, 1 off, 3 day on, 1 off. I like to do a secondary muscle with my chest. So as we've done a bit of front delt, you end up using it in some of the movements. I like to then just top it off with a front delt movement and sometimes a side. Okay, just because you've activated your shoulder, you might as well just top it off a little bit. I don't go too crazy heavy. It's more of a lightweight, just a bit of volume, because I haven't fully recovered from the shoulder workout. So just a little bit of a light top up is all I need. So today, just do a couple sets, just to help with the separation, because you'll know if you're into bodybuilding, some of the guys are even pros, they don't have the lines. What happens is their style of training is a lot of pressing, and what you'll find is you start to lose the lines and the separation between muscle groups because they're doing too much just pressing. And I believe that to get that detail out is about you doing movements that really emphasize and help with the separation. So what we're doing here, like I just said, using front raises, making sure I'm getting that separation between the shoulder and the chest, and it just complements your physique. Separation, conditioning, all comes together. Yeah. Some people will agree with me, some people won't. Some people's scientific brain will say, no, well, you're pressing, so you should get the separation. But I don't see it. I see guys that do push-pull legs, they don't have much separation because they're not trying to activate that separation or emphasize that separation. So, to cut a long story short is make sure you emphasize, make sure you do movements that are gonna help with separation, not just doing compound movements all the time, because you won't have the lines.
I think one thing is also, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Not everything works for everybody.
No.
For me, for example, when I start doing deep dips, I get a deeper stretch, I got a bit more separations.
Yeah.
For you do the front raise, you get more separation.
Yeah.
Everybody works differently.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's
but I just see example is Derek Longsford, Mr. Olympia. Everyone keeps complaining about his separation on his chest and his detail, but you'll see him pressing. He does a lot of pressing. Okay, I may be completely wrong, but it's just years of looking at styles of training, looking at bodybuilders, seeing the way that they train and seeing their lines. We was even talking about JP earlier, massive guy, 5'6", but the reason why he didn't turn pro is because he didn't have the lines, the separation. He was just a mass monster, which if you look at his style of training, push, pull legs, heavy, 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 heavy. Yeah, he built the mass, but the quality wasn't there. The lines, the separation is not there. Now, I might not be his size, and maybe I should split between the two to get a bit bigger, but I've always done my style. And another thing is, a lot of those guys that have done that style, who got massive, they now do my style. So
also, I talked about this last time. Now it's a big hype, like push-pull legs, but I'm trying now upper body, lower body. And yeah, it works for many people, but when you look at the top pros,
they don't do it.
Nearly nobody do it.
That's
sure,
it.
It works, but
they don't do it.
Everybody have to find
because they need because when you do the push-pull muscle building, trying to get as much muscle in your frame as possible, you don't think of the details. So now a lot of these guys that are doing it start to do the bro split, okay? Because they're trying to refine the physique. They're trying to bring out the details in the physique.
First build the size and then...
Yes, but with me, my approach has been for years is just do the quality and the size slowly. Now, it might be the wrong way. Maybe I should have done it another way, but it's the way that I did it. And I think when I come on stage, I will always have, as long as I'm in condition, the best separations, the best details, the lumps and the bumps. You know, I always have one of the best backs because the lumps, you know, and I just believe it's because the way that I've always trained and the way I've always chipping away at the physique and sculpting it. I mean, I might be wrong, but it's my way. Tip is when you're doing this movement, instead of just keeping your back straight and lifting, lean into it a little bit and hold there. And what you'll find is it hits more on the front. You can even see it as I lift, okay? You can see my front delt being worked, but if I stand up, look, it's not as much. So you lean into it and up. And you can see that is gonna create that separation and have more detail for competitors. But even if you're just physique developing and you just want the best physique, then you take these tips too. It's not just for beginners. It's more advanced, intermediate to advanced style of training, but why not start as you mean to carry on like I always have? Because it's all gonna pay off later down the line when you've got details that your mate ain't got because he's too worried about just lifting all heavy weight and that's it. And then you turn up half the size, but the lines, the shape, and you look better. You look better. You know?